Kia ora and welcome to this short video resource on values clarification. This is intended for Year 1 students on placements in trimester 2. If you're not a Year 1 student on placement 2, go back to the Moodle Hub page and find the correct resource. For those of you that should be here, hello and welcome. Values clarification, what are we talking about here? So values interventions is a therapeutic way of supporting people to think about change, and is a way of supporting people to have self-determination about the decisions they make about their health and well-being. When we identify alongside people what their values are, so what's important to them, that might come through spirituality, that might come through connection with whānau, that might come through the role that they have in their life, whether that's their job or as a carer, or their beliefs and their ways of viewing the world, is that we can ask people to think about how their current circumstances either help or hinder them to live in accordance with their values. And that can be quite a non-threatening and collaborative way of identifying areas for change, rather than sort of telling people what they must do. So at this early point in the curriculum, we just want you to start kind of noticing what it is about conversations that might present an opportunity to have these conversations. We're not asking you to do that with people just yet, but we do want you to be kind of noticing those opportunities. And that reflection, so once you've had that kind of noticing, when you're sitting down with your preceptor or when you're reflecting on a conversation or interaction or scenario with us as lecturers or clinical academics, that kind of noticing can occur as part of a kind of reflective process. Just a recap on values intervention clarification. As I've just said, really, it's an opportunity for tangata whaiora, whānau, to feel that they're able to talk to, for example, their wairua, their spirituality, and connect the nurse to what is important for that tangata whaiora or whānau. Values interventions support conversations about change, and they do that in a way that is non-threatening, because they ask people to think about what are your values and what's getting in the way of you living according to your values at the moment. By doing that alongside people, we help create a kind of language around a day-to-day meaningful language around what's needed to make different choices. These kind of conversations, they're therapeutic in nature, so it's a way of having a connection with people because you're showing an interest in a holistic view of people's lives rather than just being kind of task focused. It's a really good way to hear about what's important to people and also to hear about the experience that they need from you as a health professional on their journey of care. So just as a way you could frame some of your reflection, we've done some work in tutorials and lectures around reflection, but what caught my attention? So if you're observing a conversation or if you're in a conversation, what kind of phrases or comments or questions alerted you to the fact that here might be an opportunity to talk about values? And then I'd want you to think about, well, what was that opportunity? What would be the potential benefit of having that conversation? What would be the outcome? And then in terms of what would be the next steps, think about, well, if I was going to have that conversation, how would I do it in a way that was mana enhancing, that was respectful, that was non-confrontational? I think that's quite easy to do with values conversation because the word values is something that most people can connect to. It's also a very, very neutral. It's a very neutral word, so it's not threatening. If you want some more resources, well, have those conversations with us here at the university or with clinicians that you're working alongside. And think back to that tutorial that Anne and Tony did back in sunny July of 2021. So good luck with that. Get in touch if you need to ask any questions or need some further support. Okay.